Hey everybody, Damien here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Wreck-It Ralph 2 Sonic Explains Wi-Fi trailer, because I think this movie seems like a complete train wreck. Now, I'll say this, I love the original Wreck-It Ralph movie. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 on my Letterboxd account. I think it's one of Disney's best movies, honestly. I gave it a spoiler review because it does have spoilers towards the final lines of the movie, but basically, I was saying that it's not only the best video game movie ever made, but possibly one of the best Disney films of all time. And I truly believe this. And I think a lot of people, when looking at the original movie, probably could have thought, that doesn't look timeless, it doesn't look like it fits in with a lot of Disney films because it's about arcade games, about like 80s video game culture. So I understand that it could seem very dated, and perhaps it wouldn't be able to stand amongst other Disney films in about 80 years' time. But, like, I would argue this movie demonstrates all of those qualities and far more. Now, I don't think the original Wreck-It Ralph suffered from that issue because, one, it's already dated, because things like Pac-Man and, you know, the original Sonic the Hedgehog, the 16-bit version, they are already dated creations. You know, arcade games in itself, arcade stores in general, I'm forgetting the correct terminology of it, just an arcade, it's just called an arcade. They are barely even a thing anymore. Rarely across the world do they exist outside of Japan nowadays. So, in that way, the movie is already pretty dated, but the thing that isn't dated is the concept of, you know, good and evil being weighed, this idea of perception versus reality in, you know, Ralph's characterization. But, like, everything we're seeing about this sequel, Wreck-It Ralph 2, screams, this is a funny movie, emojis. It really looks like the Emoji Movie. So I just kind of want to go through the trailer and talk about everything that I hate about it, and just kind of get my thoughts about it, because I can't believe this movie exists, because I think it looks like such a step down from the first Fantastic film. So let's give it a go.
Wi-Fi? It's actually pronounced Wi-Fi, Ralph.
I think this already, I mean, I already can't. I already am so, like, surprised by the fact that, like, a modern Sonic the Hedgehog is, like... It's weird he was in the first one, and he was on, like, the posters and stuff, but the fact he's in the second one explaining what Wi-Fi is, I don't know, I already find this funny, but...
That's what I said. And Wi-Fi is the internet.
Why don't we go in? This place is bonkers.
We know where to go if we ever need a pair of goggles.
I mean, like, I think the reason I wanted to show this trailer is solely because of that line, because it just to me looks like it's going to be a movie about them going into different websites, and then just, like, cracking jokes about it. Like, the thing is, if you show, you know, the arcade cabinet of Pac-Man, you know, the 1980s version of the arcade cabinet of Pac-Man, it's like, who cares? It's like, it's barely product placement, everyone knows what Pac-Man is, and it's... I guess it's just like, it's an outdated product, so it's kind of product placement, but it seems more like it's invested in the world it is, rather than it just being like, oh, look at that, this is a product. Whereas this trailer shows them running through eBay, running through Google, and it just seems so... like, there's a giant Facebook icon on it. To me, if people thought Wreck-It Ralph 1 was not timeless, this is the ultimate, completely non-timeless film. I mean, look at, like, the YouTube logo and stuff. You look at things like MySpace. That is dead now. Like, the MySpace website is... It's not even the same thing. It's a completely different website now. It's about sharing music, and it's just not the same platform. So can you imagine in 10 years, we look back, one of these websites, one of the major ones they go through, it's going to be gone. It's just the way the internet is. Like, things just change. Even a company could change its name. And in that, I think it's just... There's something about a 30-year-old product like Pac-Man. If you look at something like Pac-Man, it's like, wow, Pac-Man is never changing. Pac-Man is something that exists. It won't change. And it's something that's like a product of its time. This is not a product of it. This is such like a... It just looks so generic and boring, and I can't believe this is in a Disney movie. You know, like, this is the same company that made Frozen. Like, Frozen is fantastic. And, like, that's a modern Disney film. This is the same people that made Zootopia. Same people that made Tangled. And when you think about the fact that this is along the library of things like Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King, it's like, really? The YouTube logo's in this? I don't know. Like, look, let's continue, and I'll just kind of go through my thoughts.
I am scared.
Okay, so the classic Disney princesses are all in this movie. Presumably for a joke, presumably for like a scene of like, oh, this is cool, all the Disney princesses are in, like, what? It's just a marketing ploy, pretty much. I mean, like, they're on the poster of the film, but, like, they're just kind of there. Like, apparently they don't have actually, like, plot significance, they're just in the movie, so I guess it's, like, whatever. This, to me, is kind of like the Pac-Man thing. It's like, you know, it's whatever, but I don't know, it seems like it's not its own thing, but, you know, let's keep going.
Disney.
This place is bonkers. I want this to be my life, but I can't tell Ralph.
There's no law.
That's another thing I don't like. Is it like the flossing dances in this, which is like, and based on the set out and the layout of this, it's presumably based on Fortnite, which is also a very modern game, something that's probably going to be dead in a year. Probably, oh, maybe not. I mean, Fortnite probably might have like the longevity of something like Minecraft, but it probably will not last too long. It won't be around in like 40 years. Like, the fact you can still watch things like The Lion King now shows, like, I mean, I think you can probably watch the original Lion King pretty much forever. I mean, the animation's fantastic. It's high enough audio quality to work nowadays. Something like Lion King will work forever. This will age very poorly, I reckon. This will age very poorly. And what's also interesting is this is the first Disney sequel to enter cinemas in years. And I believe it's the first numbered sequel by like a Disney animated team to hit cinemas maybe ever, which is so like this is excluding things like Pixar. Like, obviously this is just Disney films, which is so weird that this is the one. Really, I'm so disappointed by everything this movie seems to be. Like, there's just eBay logos everywhere. I can't like fathom who thought this was like the best idea for a Wreck-It Ralph sequel. Like, you could have just done like modern gaming. You could have just been like, these are consoles, you know, because you don't have to specify like which one. Just say it's an online video game system, and they go and play online video games, right? Like, why do you need it to be about eBay and Google? If they're going to go into games anyway, like they seem to be going into like some car game or whatever, then why even like?
It's called the Dark Net.
They go into the Darknet as well for some reason. I don't know why you'd put that in a Disney movie, but anyway, everything about this movie screams that it's going to be dated immediately, and it just doesn't look as good. It just doesn't look as good. There's a scene, here it is, which is the bunny gets the pancake. I'll just play it for you. Here it is.
PG.
Welcome to the internet. Oh my god.
Milkshake.
This is also like such a nothing point, but I hate that they reused the baby Moana model from Moana here. I don't know. That's nothing, but it's just weird to me. And also, she's using modern technology, so it's kind of just showing it's a different person, but it's the exact same model. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares?
Pancake. Milkshake.
Pancake.
You might want to try feeding the kitty for a little while.
But yeah, so the joke is that Ralph runs into some game and then goes and murders a bunny. And like, yeah, maybe like it's a funny joke, but when you think about the fact that like the first movie was all about Ralph, you know, wanting to be this good guy, and then this one is just him going and voluntarily shoving like so much food into something's mouth that it explodes, like it just doesn't feel like it's even caring about what the original film was about. You know, it was him struggling with this identity that he had to be the bad guy. And I'm worried the movie is going to lead into oh, Ralph, we always knew you were a bad guy. Whatever. I think I'm done talking about this movie. I'm so disappointed because I love the first film. Again, I think it's a fantastic film. And it's so disappointing to see where it's going. But it's not out yet. We'll see it in the coming weeks, and I hope it's great. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you just enjoyed me ranting about Wreck-It Ralph 2. Ralph breaks the internet. It's not called Wrecks the Internet. It should be, but whatever. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.